Okay, what we are making is collard green, which is a great food for your family, has a lot of nutrients. So we are going to be making some collard greens. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to rinse it off because I don't know if you can see very well, but it's not the cleanest. And as always, you want to make sure that you clean everything for your family and your friends and your loved ones because, again, you love them. Okay, so what we're going to do is wash it. I'm going to wash it 3 times first. After I wash it 3 times, then I'm going to soak it in my peroxide vinegar solution. I also have a video on that. You can be able to look it up and see just exactly how I made the peroxide vinegar solution, just to make sure after what the water doesn't get, the peroxide solution will be able to hopefully knock that out the park and get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But so I washed it off, all the collard, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to devein it basically. You can be able to, the inside part of it, you can fold it and you kind of hear it crinkling, and you can cut it off like this, and basically all thing you're doing is just getting the stem off, the tougher part of the stem. Okay, this is the way I prefer to do it most of the time. I just go ahead and the inside of it, I crunch it together, and I go from the side and I just rip it off. What I do is I just kind of roll it up like a little burrito, and I'm just gonna make thin slices. I have this chopped up, and here's what I was saying as far as giving it a massage. I'm just kind of breaking down the walls a little bit. Alright, what I'm gonna do is, it's already sizzling up some. I put 1 teaspoon of olive oil in it, and the reason why it looks dirty is because I made my chicken in here. I pressure canned some chicken, and I just went ahead and put the oil in it because that's just flavor. So I went ahead and I'm going to put some onions inside of it, and I basically chopped up 1 onion. Here's what it looks like. I basically chopped up just 1 onion, and you can chop it up any way you want. Normally I make rings, and the reason why is because in my family there's some that don't like onions, so I try to make it big so it's easier for them to be able to take them out. So I'm just going to put this in here, and I want to say caramelized, but it's not really caramelized because I'm not going to cook it long enough as far as caramelizing it. But I'm just going to kind of cook them until they're translucent. Okay. Alright. I'm just going to try to get as much of this brown part up as I can. And the brown part is the flavor from the chicken. So I'm trying to get that up and just kind of scraping it with the onions, just moving the onions around. Another good way of getting it off is the stock that was made from the chicken. I'm going to go ahead and put some of this in. And one thing you should know about, just put a little bit in. You see how it's steamed up? I don't know if it's, okay. See, it's getting more of it off. One thing that you should know, when you're making your collard greens, season everything first. What I mean by season everything first, put all your seasoning in. Don't wait till last minute. As far as I go ahead and I put this in, and then after it's finished cooking, no, put it in right away so that it can soak up the flavor. So let me go ahead and get my collard. Now my family, we're okay with garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of garlic inside of here. And I'm just going to stir it around so I can get the flavors in there. And for the collard, I strained the collard, but I didn't put it in my salad spinner and get all the liquid out of it, because the liquid actually in it is fine. It's fine. So I'm going to put a little bit more chicken stock in, and I'm using stock. And when I put the stock in, I just put just enough in to deglaze it, to get the stuff off of the pan onto my onions. So I'm going to put maybe around 1/4 of a cup of it in there so I can deglaze it a little bit more. And then remember, like what I was saying, you want to go ahead and, now I'm going to go ahead and start putting in my kale. I keep saying kale, it's not kale. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in my collard, and I'm putting in little by little. I put in around half of it. And now what I'm going to do is just start mixing it around. Now I haven't added any salt to it yet. I'm trying to debate on how much I should put in. I'm trying to cut back, me and my family, trying to cut back on the salt. Oh, and I forgot an important step to it, but I still can add it. I'm going to put some bacon in it. I'm going to go ahead and put, I should have put it in, but it's still okay. It's still early on. And I'm mixing it around. I like to saute it with my onions. But wasn't able to do that. But again, cooking is so versatile, it's fine. As long as I get it in there. So I'm just mixing it up, and as I'm mixing it up, it's reducing. And then I can add a little bit more to it. Sorry. My husband's busy. Normally he's the one who helps me. Good to nice. It's nice to have a little help. Just putting the last of it in there. Alright. And I'm going to give it a quick toss. Well, it's really not a quick toss. I'm just going to give it a toss so I can move everything around. Now I'm cooking it inside of my pressure cooker. So I'm going to cook it for around 20 minutes. And again, you can eat kale or collard raw. So you can just basically eat it just like this if you wanted to. No, I'm not, but you know. Not that that's a bad thing. That's a great thing. It's just that I'm not there yet. Prayerfully with time, I will be able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add around half a cup of more of my chicken stock. Since I have it. And if you don't have stock, you can use water. See, it's just sucking up that water. Okay, that's some good mix in there. Now what I'm going to end up doing is, I think I'll put a little bit more in. Why not? I'm going to put around a half a more cup in there. Because my family likes the sauce. And again, you're making this from scratch, so you're creating all these flavors from your hands. The hands that you use to, you know, tuck your kids in, to make your kids' lunches, to make your husband's lunch, to make your loved ones food, you know. You made this, your hands, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. And the main ingredient is, you know, we're making this with love. So I've already mixed it. It's mixed pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is just put the cap on. So let me do that. But this is what it looks like before it's done. And I'm going to let it reduce. And it's going to cook for around 20 minutes in my pressure canner because I like it soft. Because a pressure canner cooks it around 3 times faster. So if it was in a pot, I would cook it for about an hour. So it could be really tender. My family likes it tender. But since I'm cooking in my pressure cooker, I can do it for approximately around 20 minutes. Of course, you know, check your guide and see. And you can always check on it, you know, take the pressure off and check it out and then bring it back up to pressure or not. But I'm going to do it for around 20 minutes. And I'll come back and let you see what it looks like. But this is what it looks like thus far. We have made it. And I will put a little bit of salt in it. And I try to measure because it's easy to say, oh, just put a pinch of this, a pinch of that, but, you know, let me know how much. So hold on, let me measure some out. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. It's popped down. I've cut the stove off. When I say pop down, I mean this right here. And I took the jigger thingy off. Let all the air out. So now what I'm going to do, I'm opening it up, and you guys are seeing it for the first time just like myself. So this is what it looks like. A lot of the water is gone. Do you see what I kind of said about the liquid? That's why I put more liquid in it. I wish I kind of would have put more liquid in it because my family likes the liquid. But that's okay though. But it's nice and tender. It looks good. So it's time to eat. So this is what it looks like. So again, on behalf of your friends, loved ones, and family. I know life can be busy, so they probably haven't gotten a chance to tell you. And if they have, that's awesome. But if they haven't, it's not offensive at all. Just means that life is busy. But again, on behalf of your friends, loved ones, and family, thank you for making such delicious food for them. God bless.